It's currently 3:22:25. Don't worry about it, cracker. 06:30. And I was just pondering the video. They were talking about. It's funny how all these whites feel so bad for slavery and all this, but yet when a black person that does the most minorest shit, or not even shit at all, they come out there and want to cancel culture that whole person's existence. And I was just thinking, like, hold up, my pop was born in 1928. That means he was raised in the most in the top of that some backward ass town which I've been to in Florida. I could imagine how it was back in the 1928 when he was born, so at least 1938 when he's 10. See? So you talk about I ain't responsible for slavery, yeah, but you're a direct bloodline of racist ass niggas that continue that shit and still continue to they do bullshit. Like I said, the LGBT is a new oppressor. So you're continuing this under another banner. And like I said, LGBT was heavy in slavery. Another reason why reparations are to be paid out. The nasty, vile, sexual, live like a dog, right? I wonder who introduced you into booty hole play and anus licking. Probably with some little boy slave against his will, right? No, it's documented myriads of times that boys, girls, women, men were raped in slavery from your grandparents, who from the 1928, your father, racist ass father, is the continuation in what you are doing today. So therefore, yes, you do have to pay me for reparations because you're the same continuation as the 13th Amendment, Section 19 states, slavery is abolished except through criminal punishment, right? That's a modification that means slavery is still activated. So every white person does have to pay because they all benefit from it. It's still activated. What you mean you ain't got to pay for it? Especially if you black. You went into slavery. And you still got laws against you that are for slavery. So you're saying the white person, everybody, see, yeah, so that's a Bill Maher and a lot of other motherfuckers. You didn't live as a slave. How do you get reparations? All right, so gather this. Your own laws states that if I have stolen possessions and I leave them to my children, though they never knew they were stolen. Let's go this route. And the police find out years later, especially if the owners see their shit, and the police comes and they see, like, this is my identifier, show the receipts, whatever the case is, my father, and they say that's my shit, whether you knew or not, you gotta give it up. That's your own fucking laws. But the bigger part is, you know about it and you're participating in it. So tell me how you ain't got to pay for it, how you not responsible. Not to mention, you ain't go through it, or how you going to tell the descendants. As I said, everybody in black that was here, pre 1860 or post or 1860s, and then come out through immigrants after slavery and all that shit. You can easily track that. They get paid for it. Why? Because you got hundreds of years undocumented. You think they going to tell you when they started slavery? No, they were doing that before that. On top of that, they fucked themselves because they were dumping what they call cargo along the coastline or along the route, emptying out the rest of the cargo, which were the slaves, and they going back in later and getting them and selling them like on the black market, not even documented. So it's funny how you feel so bad for it, but when it come back to pay me that money, you ain't trying to do it. On top of that, not only you're not trying to do it, you're oppressing people who you believe are committing bullshit criminal crimes and making a reason to do it, and yet have no reason or facts behind it. When you ask me, it might have some bullshit. Explain your answer. No, you can't just show it. You can't just show some shit and say, no. You still had this, I can show all type of slavery shit, which was from, I would estimate 12 to 1300 BC. That's not even accounted for. They came before Columbus. That's not documented in history, right? The movie Apocalypto shows probably that near the end. What was happening? See, that's the climax. I'm talking about when the African probably was blaming the African man. They came before Columbus, right? That probably started the war between the red man and the black man that was already thousands of years in communication and in liberated trades. The cracker probably came over here, was disguising herself, see blackface, and probably was kidnapping them and blaming you, right? Which led to the natives. See, there was Buffalo Soldier, exactly. It was war between the natives, and it even had natives having blacks as slaves, and blacks going to war with natives. No, it wasn't no black slaves. It probably was black coonery. It probably some, I guess there was some settled, yeah. But I'm talking about the continent. Yeah, there was many natives that had black slaves, and many natives that went to war with blacks. Whether on false pretense or just on some racial or some coon ass shit or some, what you call some, I guess you would call it some spick ass shit. Exactly, the degradation of your culture. Sell out the pussy of your culture. He's a nigger, coon. He ain't my people. He's like I said, if a cop commits a crime, he's no longer a cop. He's a criminal with a badge. I don't consider him as a brother. See, you're in the filth. You're a nigger. You're a cracker. You're a spick. You're a chink. Etc. Etc. You're the you're the negative being of your culture, the defilement of your culture. You can't even claim your culture. You've been marked as a nigger, as a spick, as a cracker. Whatever racial tone of your culture, that should be branded. It's like slavery so much, right? Branded on your fucking forehead. You disgrace your whole fucking to the development of your whole being, to the whole being, but to your own culture's being. You have much of a coon for some. You had weekly. That's another video. They sold the coons. They used the coon. Look at this shit to sell you out, but yet came back and got them later because I can't have you out there with different information. On top of it, they done with that region. On top of that, I can use you in slavery. You also know about it. Like I said, they brought you over here. They ain't know you was a slave. Then guess what? You started mating with that sellout energy. That's why so many sellouts among your bloodline today. You don't even know. You already had niggas that was weak and timid, but they just wasn't the warriors. Now you got to mixing them with those who sold them out. A coward. A backbiter. A stiff-necked murmurer. You already had a problem in your culture, right? But like I said, in slavery, had you not mixed that gene, you would just had dudes who were like had to learn how to fight. And a lot of them were warriors anyway. But now you destroyed the whole gene. See, another reason you're open for reparations. Because you put a coon in those genes. Like, you owe me the world. Same way you try to claim about the Moors, what the Moors did to Europe, etc. That's what you owe me money for. And see how they try to pay for that? And still can't do it though, right? But the point is they attempted to rebuild with more than money but resources. You have done none of that. None of that. Little bullshit has to, exactly, not really caring effort. But you have done none of it. No, they poured their heart and soul into help rebuild the righteous ones, helping to rebuild Europe. See? It's history books. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. I just told you. They came before Columbus, right? Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Get your read on. Yeah, no, debunk that. You can't even debunk that because we learned none of this in school. I don't care what school you went to. None of this black history in school. All you learned was civil rights and slavery. They came before Columbus, meaning before slavery. On top of how they get over it, they were already established travelers of the seas. Like Moana, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the Azabkalanian people. Thousands of years before the European even knew what the fucking ocean was selling and making, exactly. That's why it looks so. That's why it's black everywhere you go. Thousands of years before the white man. And some places he didn't even go yet on the ancient scale, on the ancient map. Fuck, of course you want to destroy me. You jealous, you little bitch. But either way, if they can do all this bitch ass shit over fucking theories, what can I do to a cracker that owe me money for slavery? Oh yeah, you owe me, yeah, that don't matter. As long as I'm black and I was here at a certain point in time, I get paid for slavery because myriads were undocumented, and it went, and on top of it, it even went longer. It was signed After the war, you lost the war, it still kept slaves. Look at this cracker. See? And they're still doing it, right? Still doing it right now. Some crackers roll past and did. Man, they gotta be up at 0500 on the Saturday and shit. Trying to live off of everybody else. Some truck driving there. They said, fucking truck drivers. Doing it right now, right? So as you see right there, while making the video, still some racist ass white bull doing it. And on top of it, a lot of coons. Yeah, that's the only way you can lose your shit. If you cooned out, if you sold out and shit, then you lose you can't claim oppression and get paid for oppressive shit. Return, Dark Side of the Candor. Thank you.